On today's show, we're breaking out the grill. Hey guys, welcome back to At the Table. Today we are gonna do a grilled salmon recipe. So summertime, we get the grill going. Great time to cook grilled vegetables, grilled fish, grilled whatever. Everything tastes good on the grill. Grilled watermelon, grilled peaches, can do anything. So today we're gonna do a little mixture. We're gonna actually make some salmon rice bowls. So it's a different way for us to use that salmon, and I just kind of thought up this recipe, threw it together. This is how I cook a lot of time when I'm at home. Just kind of look at what I've got on hand and just throw something together. So I thought rice bowls would be really tasty, something different that we haven't done on the show yet, but we can also just show a little bit about ways to load up your grill. So I have 2 pieces of salmon here. These are both salmon that has been frozen before that I just had in my freezer. Salmon's a good one to throw it into your refrigerator the day before and it'll be thawed and ready because it is so much lighter and thinner than like a whole piece of chicken. Sometimes our chicken might take 1 to 2 days to thaw out. So you can actually do this the night before and it'll be ready first thing the next day. So this is what I had on hand. We're gonna just season this. I do have our grill. I'm turning it to 350. This is an indoor grill. Just easier for us to do here on our show today, but absolutely you could do this outside on an outdoor grill. And I love a charcoal grill. Just the flavor that you get from that is so different than what you get from like an electric or an indoor grill. So to me, it's a special occasion if I get a charcoal grill. Charcoal grilled food just because the flavor is so good. So we're gonna season this first. So to start with, we're gonna just add a little bit of olive oil, not a ton, just kind of a dab on there so that way our seasonings will stick. I'm actually you could use a brush here. We don't have any really good brushes. And I also I feel like sometimes they don't, and you can put it in your dishwasher and it will clean if you put it on the highest setting, heated, dry, and then warm water. That can help to kill the bacteria, but I just prefer to use a spoon, the back of a spoon. It spreads the same, but I feel like I can clean the spoon a lot easier than a brush. Personal preference, just from the job, it's made me a little bit more extra cautious when it comes to food safety. So next I'm gonna add a clove of garlic. So we will just do 1 clove each. And I'll spread that around in just a second. You could absolutely do a garlic powder here or the kind that comes in the little jar. I love fresh garlic personally, and I just thought it would help to really flavor our fish. So we're just doing that 1 clove each. And I'll set that to the side. That will be plenty. Spread that around. Now, if you have salmon that is just, maybe you want to marinate it a little bit longer, you can absolutely marinate that ahead of time rather than doing it right, seasoning it before you're about to cook it. When we marinate it ahead of time, you do have to keep in mind that fish is going to be a lot lighter than something like pork, chicken, or steak. So you need to keep in mind that it needs to only marinate for about 30 minutes. Any longer than that, and it can start to kind of fall apart and it won't be very good. So keep that in mind. Adding a little bit of parsley just does not want to come out here. I'm gonna try to sprinkle it as best I can without dumping it. Any seasonings that you like, I was just looking for a little green something. This is parsley flakes. And then garlic and ginger go really well together with fish. So we're gonna add a little bit of ginger powder. Now, if you love the flavor of ginger, you can also do fresh ginger. It will be stronger, same as that garlic. We're also going to do just a little bit of honey. This will help to kind of glaze it lightly on the grill, kind of crystallize it a little bit, make it brown up nicely. So I'm not doing much there, just enough to kind of spread along the fish. All right, and then the last thing, this is usually something that you use with marinating, and I'm just gonna do a dab. We are gonna put this into our bowls, but this is just soy sauce. And I always choose the low sodium soy sauce simply because it kind of watches that sodium there. And then we're just gonna do a little salt and pepper. So I just kind of made up a little marinade, little seasoning recipe here that we threw together. All right, so our grill is on, it's ready. I'm gonna go ahead and spray that, and I'll throw this on the grill, and we'll see you guys back in just a second. And we'll have it on there, we'll finish up our bowls.
Star Communications strives to provide you with the best video services. That's why we invested in cutting-edge video equipment to bring you new features such as Cloud DVR, Restart TV, local video on demand, advanced parental controls, and higher quality reception. Unfortunately, these improvements require some changes, and existing DVR customers will lose their current recordings. Changes will start the middle of January, so please view all your recorded content. We hope you will love the new Star TV.
All right, guys, welcome back. So we have our salmon seasoned. It is on the grill. Our grill, this one gets pretty warm because it's a lot smaller than probably a grill you might be using outside. Keep that in mind, that can also affect how quickly your food cooks. But we have the grill on, and we have our salmon on there. It's looking really good. This salmon did not have a skin side, but typically you would put skin side down. You'd only really season that one side. So typically we want to season that skin, or put the skin side down, and then you would just leave it. We'll probably end up flipping this simply because it doesn't have a skin side. So, but you don't necessarily have to flip it. Once it starts getting that white on it, that typically is the fat of the salmon that's starting to kind of cook and come out, and that is a good indicator that it's getting close to done. But the best way to test it is to use that thermometer and check to see if it's at 145 degrees. That's the temperature you're looking. With certain things, it's better if you cook it to the proper temperature, and that way you're not overcooking it, because sometimes that can happen. So I'm gonna flip this, and you can see the pretty grill marks. We're just gonna leave it for maybe a minute on that side, so not long at all. Flip it, I'll close it so that it gets nice and cooked, and we'll go ahead and do our next thing, which is gonna be asparagus. So we're gonna do some marinated asparagus. If you ever have, this is half of another bunch. If you ever have something like asparagus, you can put it into water, like what I have done, and that will help to keep it fresh for longer in your refrigerator, just in case you were saving it for another recipe or whatever it might be. I just put it in a little water with in a mason jar. So I'm gonna just cut off those ends where it had been sitting in the water, and then we're gonna throw this into a bag. This is my preferred way to marinate. Now you could absolutely, do this however you like and use a bowl, whatever it might be. We're gonna add a little bit of olive oil. That was probably 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil, just enough to really coat it. So this is where a bag comes in handy. You can close it up and you can kind of shake it. And then we're gonna add a little bit of ginger. I'm just gonna do ginger, salt, and pepper. You could do the garlic powder or fresh garlic or the parsley here. And I actually have some sesame seeds. I think I'll add those too. So I'm gonna do a little salt, a little bit of pepper in my bag, and we'll do a little sesame seeds as well. And then I'm also gonna throw some soy sauce in there just because simply of what we're making today. It's more of an Asian kind of style dish. Balsamic is also delicious on asparagus if you're ever trying to find other things to marinate your asparagus with or to kind of season your asparagus. So I'm just gonna do that. We'll shake it around, make sure it's nice and covered. And then as soon as I pull my fish off, I'm gonna throw this on. I don't quite have enough room to do this on at the same time. You absolutely could cook this at the same time if you are doing this on a larger grill. But that is one tip for you, is to load up your grill. So load it up. If you've already got it out, you might as well load it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move this to the side. And I'll show you guys kind of what that looks like. Beautiful salmon, it's got that pretty grill marks on it. And we're gonna switch over to our grilled asparagus next. So this will probably take maybe 7 minutes. Again, I'm gonna spray my pan, and really we had the olive oil on there, so it probably would have been okay to not necessarily spray it. But while this is hot, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on. So a key for you is if you've got the grill on, you might as well go ahead and throw what you have onto your grill. Really utilize your grill, because this is a great way for you to prep ahead of time. If you've got a busy weekend coming up or whatever it might be, or a busy week coming up in general, it might be great to go ahead and just throw a bunch of stuff on the grill. If you're making salmon, maybe you've got chicken as well, or maybe you want to do extra salmon than what you really need for that evening, so that you have stuff for the week. And then you can do different things with that. So you could just have your salmon with rice and some asparagus. Delicious meal, that would be a nice little one together. Or you can then turn that into what we're doing today, which is gonna be those salmon bowls, salmon rice bowls. So you've got a couple different options, but this is a way for you to prep a bunch of food ahead of time and save you time during the week, during whenever you are gonna be busier. Because things come up, we get busy, right? So we wanna make sure that we are taken care of food-wise and that we have what we need. So I'm gonna let that finish cooking. When you come back, we're gonna go ahead and start sauteing some of our veggies that we want to put into our rice bowl. We'll see you back in just a second.
Just because something may work doesn't mean it's right for your business. Let Star Communications' knowledgeable consultants help you customize a hosted voice system that's right for you. Our dedicated experts work with you to understand your business needs and guide you at every step, from choosing and installing services to ongoing maintenance and support. Contact Star today.
All right, guys, welcome back. So we have the asparagus on the grill. I am just gonna turn this just a little bit, move it around just so it's gonna get all of that. It's getting stuck in little crevices here. And depending on how much you like that done, you could leave it for longer. I actually like mine pretty dark, crispy, starting to kind of really grill up. So depends on where you are. You could possibly take it off now if you still like your asparagus crunchy. If you're like me, you want it to be a little bit more kind of blackened and charred, you could leave it on just a little bit longer, like I'm gonna do today. So we're gonna switch over to what we're gonna put into our pan to saute those vegetables. So I had a bell pepper left over, so we're gonna start with that. Y'all know I love to choose different colors of our vegetables, so I thought orange would be pretty in this recipe. So we're just gonna cut that up and chop it up into those small pieces. And we'll use this whole entire thing. So essentially in our bowls, we're gonna have the peppers, onions, and then that asparagus. And we've got our pan kind of trying to heat up right now. So this is a great way for you to utilize vegetables you have on hand. You can do any vegetables that you enjoy. You could even go ahead and grill your bell pepper as well to give it a little bit of a different flavor, to add to different things as well. So it could be added to your wraps, it could be added to rice bowls like what we're doing. It could be added to spaghetti, just for a different flavor. I swear the grill just completely changes the flavor profile of our different vegetables and really foods in general. And I just love it for something just different. So thinking about summertime is a great way to do all of that. We have an abundance of vegetables available to us. And then we also have beautiful weather so that we can be outside enjoying grilling our food. It's not quite as cold as what we tend to see in the winter. All right, so that is nice and chopped up. Fortunately, I already have my onion cut up. I'm just using leftover frozen onion that I had on hand. This is probably about 1/2 cup to 1/4 cup of onion. So what I'm gonna do next is throw in some oil on my pan. I did about maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. And we're gonna throw our bell pepper in there. And then we're also gonna go ahead and throw in our onion. So I've got that as well that I'm just gonna dump that in. Try to get all of that good stuff out. And we will let that kind of saute down, saute together, and just have, kind of blend and have that good flavor. So I already made my rice and I've got that ready on the stove. I just did the instant brown rice that's in the box. Another good quick option are the ones that are the 90-second rice you can just throw into the microwave. I use those all the time. They have great flavors. But if you do the brown rice, there's really nothing else added to it compared to some of the flavored ones. So keep that in mind in terms of your seasoning, your sodium. Those things will be affected if you're choosing those different flavors that are not just straight brown rice. We just did the box today. It was very quick. This is another thing you could prep ahead, prep a good amount of rice ahead of time, and you can freeze, whatever you have left over if you're not going to use it all. We made enough for about 4 bowls, even though we've only got 2 pieces of salmon. So I'll have that left over that I could have these rice bowls with maybe a different protein if I want to do that. Just think about your options. There's lots of different ways that you can spruce up your meals, utilize what you have, save a little bit of money, and still have different flavors going throughout for your meals throughout the week. So just keep that in mind. All right, and this is looking good. So we are going to flavor this similar to how we've done kind of our salmon and our asparagus, just so it will all kind of blend well together. And again, that would still be good with really any protein. You could do shrimp, you could do steak in there, and it would still be good for like an Asian style rice bowl with just a different meat added for a different flavor. Or you could just go vegetarian, add in some beans to it, or serve this as a side, a rice and veggies kind of on the side together. So lots of options for you. Hopefully this is helping you to kind of think through what are some ways that I can switch up my meals while still having similar things that I have on hand, similar things that I have cooked. There's just so many different ways that we can really utilize that. All right, we're gonna let that cook down just a little bit. I think our asparagus is almost done. So when we come back, we'll have everything wrapped up and we will be able to kind of make our bowls up together. We'll see you back in just a second.
Just because something may work doesn't mean it's right for your business. Let Star Communications' knowledgeable consultants help you customize a hosted voice system that's right for you. Our dedicated experts work with you to understand your business needs and guide you at every step, from choosing and installing services to ongoing maintenance and support. Contact Star today.
All right, guys, welcome back. So we have our peppers and onions. They've cooked up nicely. I did add in salt, pepper, and a little bit of sesame seeds to that. Just to kind of course, give it a little bit of flavor, but it looks really good. So what we're gonna start doing, let's set this to the side just so it won't get quite too hot. We've got our rice already done, as I mentioned. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and pull our asparagus off the grill. As I said, you've got a great meal right here before you even assemble your bowls. So you could eat it just like this if you wanted to do that. So our asparagus has those pretty grill marks, probably even better if you're making this on a bigger grill at home versus my little indoor grill. If you're ever interested in an indoor grill, this is one that I just got from Walmart. I think it's a Cuisinart. No, it's a Hamilton Beach. So it was pretty affordable. You can find those at Walmart if you are just not really into grilling outside yourself. So our asparagus looks good. I'm just gonna chop this up to kind of fit into our bowls a little bit more easily. Now you absolutely could have done this before you even went to put it on the grill. But we're gonna do it like that, and I'm actually gonna dump it into our pan. Told y'all this was a made-up meal, so I'm just kind of making it up as we go along here. All right, so it's time to assemble our bowls. So I have yet to season my rice, and again, that is because I want it to have some good flavor when it is, I want it to be able to stretch between different meals. So I decided to skip on seasoning it, and that way you can either freeze this, throw it into a freezer bag and use it for later, or you just throw it in your fridge if you think you're gonna use it within the week. So that way it won't, I can do so many different things with it. It won't have a particular flavor. So we're gonna do soy sauce next. Just again, I haven't seasoned this, so this will be our flavor. And this could be something where you have everybody kind of make their own bowls as they go. So, they could add their own flavoring. If they're not huge soy sauce fans, teriyaki sauce would be really good. That's kind of what flavor I would have liked on here, but it's just not what we had available. So I'm kind of making my own stuff up over here. But remember, soy sauce has a good amount of sodium in it, so if you are adding that, then you probably don't need to add any salt. We're gonna add a little bit of ginger as well. And our sesame seeds. You could toast these sesame seeds ahead of time if you really like them kind of toasted. But if you're in a pinch on time, you can just do it as is. Don't have to worry about it. I think I'm gonna add just a pinch of honey because, like I said, I was kind of feeling a little bit more of a teriyaki sauce style here. But we didn't have it, so I'm gonna do like honey and soy sauce together, and that'll be similar, a little bit more similar to my teriyaki sauce. And then we'll add in our vegetables. Actually, let me stir this first. I was gonna just mix it all together, but I think I'll just put my veggies on top. That'll look nice and pretty. And you could absolutely do all of this in the pot, That way you're not doing it in each bowl and having to go back and forth. That's gonna take you a little bit more time. There we go, looks good. And next, we'll do our asparagus and peppers. And we want a good amount of veggies, of course, because vegetables are great for us. So we want to try to get that half of our plate to be those fruits and vegetables. I feel like for me personally, I tend to go more veggie in the evening, and then I get more of those fruits in during the morning. Looks good. And then we're going to just add in our beautiful salmon right there on top. And there you go. So this is just a simple meal that you could do this summer, that you could change it up, make it however you want, use different proteins, use whatever vegetables you have on hand, what vegetables your family likes. You could switch up the rice, even doing half brown rice, half white rice, or you can just do white rice if that's what your family enjoys. I find that half and half people tend to enjoy it a little bit more, and they don't really realize that there is brown rice kind of snuck in there. So that way you can up your fiber without taking any of the flavor of what you get with the white rice. So hope you guys try this. Hope you enjoy it. Enjoy your time this summer. Get outside, get with friends, family, start grilling some stuff, and that'll help you prep for the week. We'll see you guys next time.